Joining us now is a man who's probably played cards against you in the past.
I hope not.
And I assume he has very similar experiences. Joining us now, 4-time NFL MVP, an absolute stallion. Ladies and gentlemen, Super Bowl champion Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron.
Aaron, how are you, bub? Is that a wine?
Yeah, I'm down in the wine room today.
Where?
I'm at my house.
Oh, I thought the Jets facility had a wine room. I'm like, that's the problem.
Everybody's
Everybody's wondering why they got a wine cellar in the basement. That's at your house? You got... Oh! I didn't know. You a wino? Are you a wino?
You see what's over here? This one? Oh, there we go, right there.
Oh, yeah, I do know. I do see that.
Yeah, you know who gave me that, right?
Who's that?
You.
Oh, yeah, I did. That was, that's a really good scotch there. Impossible to carry. Really tough. That thing was much larger than I thought it was going to be. Awkwardly shaped, but damn it, I've heard it is glorious. Have you sipped it yet?
Not yet. I'm saving that for a really good time. Good occasion.
Oh, like whenever you play football again, whenever you're jogging out on a field with an American flag and the people are going bananas. Let's go ahead and hammer some of the scotch that comes in 3 boxes.
3 of them.
I think there's 3 boxes in it. It's a big deal. It's worth it. Before we close this cards conversation with AJ, have you ever played cards with him? And have you ever thought to yourself, wow, this guy is both the worst human I've ever played cards with, but also the most entertaining human I've ever played cards with? I assume that's a natural reaction.
You definitely want him to be your partner. Because as Foxy says, there's a little bit of table talk when it comes to AJ's game. Some would say may not be ethically a part of the, game of fair card play, but yeah, I mean, I've been a part of some worse cheats than AJ's cheats. Now, that was in a different game, a game of Boo-Ray, and I won't get into
somebody
exactly
cheated in Boo-Ray? I don't know how that happens. That's like that's when people show up with guns at the locker room. That game is the guns at the locker room game.
Who cheated?
Yeah, how'd that work? What are you talking about? Fake
Yeah,
throw?
listen, the individual suffered enough, so I'm not going to put him on blast, but there used to be a great euchre card game on the plane. I wasn't part of it because I was playing, we were doing some Blu-ray, but it was Matt Flynn and Graham Harrell against, I think it was TJ Lang and Josh Sitton, and there was 0 people playing by the rules in that game, I can promise you that.
Yeah, and they probably all have the same attitude as AJ. Will you fight me? That's what AJ said to me. That's what he said, are you going to fight
There's
this?
money on the line. Yeah, if there's money on the line, I'm by the book.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I bet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure of that. Aaron?
Yeah, just like in golf, right, AJ?
Oh, I don't cheat in golf. You know that. I don't need to. I'm putting everything out. I don't need gimmies. I don't need any of that.
You're a big fluffer.
Is he? That makes sense, because this guy will hit the ball into the woods. Okay, into this ball, into the woods. And then somehow, I think he cuts down trees, too. He'll somehow have a direct line at the green, 75 yards into the woods with a perfect line. The golf gods bless this, and the cards gods do, too. This dude gets cards on a regular basis as well.
Well, he's the classic. He'll start the hole with a Top Flight XL and finish it with a Pinnacle Gold.
Ryan Hawk, you son of a bitch. What
the hell?
He's got to be a part of that entire thing. Guys beating up the lake and throwing balls all over the course. Hey, Happy New Year, Aaron. How was the weekend? What did you do for the New Year? We've seen some, and this is, obviously, we talk a lot of shit on the show. It's been very cool to see what you've been posting on your IG stories about thought and life, happy, everything like that. Feels like you did a lot of reflecting this weekend. Is that real? And how was the New Year?
I did a lot of sleeping. We had the Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, so I did a lot of sleeping. Watched some football Saturday and Sunday. Had dinner in the city on Sunday, but I took it pretty easy for the most part. I think the New Year is always a time for good reflection, and every now and then I see something on a friend's story or post that I like, and I saw this post on a friend's page, and there was like 10 different kind of reflections from the year, and the one that I posted was there's some awesome responses from time to time. So people reaching out and people saying, that hit me too, and I went through the same stuff. So, it's nice to connect in that way. I love Rumi poetry as well. My godson's middle name is actually Rumi. Randall's second son, his middle name is Rumi. So love him, and I both love Rumi poetry. So every now and then I'll post some of that stuff. But it's interesting. You get some interesting responses from it. I'm sure people think I'm super weird with just about everything I do, and there's also people that maybe appreciate some of the occasional non-cliche-ish posts.
Aaron, you went into a dark hole, for a while to find your true happiness. You went into the jungle to do something that makes you go out the attic and the basement, right?
Very cool, yeah.
To find yourself in there.
Time.
I think everybody, I think we're all very appreciative of the fact of how open you are about how you feel and mental health and everything. I think you're an inspiration to a lot of people in that particular facet. Now, granted, do people think you're weird? I assume that is definitely true. I assume that is definitely true.
And I'm fine with both of those things. I think I'm trying to live as authentic and genuine as possible. And I think there are people that that have been inspired, and I appreciate it. Jordan Poyer talked about it recently, and Jordan and I have become good buddies the last couple of years. There's, like I said, after on the show many times, after I talked about Aya, there were a lot of people that reached out and were interested in the sports world and the entertainment world. And it's been great to be able to connect with those people. Some people who follow through and have done their own journey. Some people who are just not ready for it yet, which is great. But I definitely encourage people to look into it. I don't think it's smart to maybe recommend it because people always want to blame other people for certain things. But I can speak from my own experience. It was life-changing, has been life-changing, and it's going to be something that I look forward to doing in some form or fashion this off-season as well.
Aya? Is that what you said?
I'm sure there'll be some sort of ceremony this off season. Not sure what medicine, but there'll be something.
Hell yeah! So we got that toad thing, right? We got the
toad
thing, and I just heard you call it Aya. I feel so cool when I say that. I'm gonna walk into a crowd that I know knows. I'm gonna say, "We talking Aya?
You guys got Aya?
We got Aya.
Talking what we doing?
We doing the Aya? Or is there's some others as well, right? There's some other things that go in there. And what do they do actually? They're like a mental reset. They kind of open your eyes. What is it? What is really the benefit of that? If you could take us back in time a little bit.
Benefit of what are we talking about? Are we talking about Bufo, Aya, mescaline? What are we talking about?
Bufo? What's Bufo?
Bofa?
Bufo is the toad. It's
I'm a child.
Different kind of toad.
Yeah. Listen, all medicines should be respected and revered and done in with some reverence, because medicines can be healing, and they also can be poison. So I think you got to approach each medicine with the proper type of reverence. They all have different experiences associated with them, and if you want more information, hit me up offline.
Okay, hey, just hit Aaron up. He'll lead you in the right direction in that whole thing. The beginning of a new year is a good time to have this discussion because there's a lot of people trying to find themselves.
Yes. Yeah, you bet.
That's like one of the things. Isn't that kind of what the Aya and the Bofa and the other, that's like a massive piece of it all, right? Like people are trying to find, I don't want to say find themselves, but like find happiness, right? Isn't that like kind of one of the steps of the whole process there for some people? I do not have the attention span or the toughness to be able to go through any of this stuff. But for folks that are seeking, that is kind of what it is about, right? For you, that is kind of what it was, right?
Yeah, purpose, understanding, connection, joy. A simple psilocybin journey can really open up, some pretty euphoric experiences. There's a lot of great research out there that's pairing different types of medicine. Some plant-based, some synthetic, to help so many veterans now, people dealing with depression, people dealing with PTSD. There's a lot of great clinics, and the alphabet gangsters who control a lot of the medicine. I say that very loosely. That gets cleared aren't exactly on board with giving a lot of clearance to some of the stuff yet. But there's a lot of great studies. There's obviously enormous anecdotal evidence of healing, but there's also some incredible studies that are going on. There's some incredible people, like the people at MAPS organization, that have been doing in this space for 30, 40 years, trying to get their research out there, be able to let people know there's other ways of healing depression, PTSD, some of these issues, mental health issues, than just getting you on antidepressants for the rest of your life and dealing with all the side effects associated with those. So, it's fun to be able to, I got to speak at the MAPS conference this year, and that was.
Were you wearing
really
the leather
awesome.
jacket? Was that where you were wearing a leather jacket? You remember how cool you looked?
That was the Bitcoin one.
Oh, which by the way, still up if you bought it a long time.
Yeah, that was good. I'm not sure. I was probably, wearing something black at the MAPS. I'm not sure exactly what I wore.
Did you have one of those cool necklaces?
I'm like AJ. AJ is, you see him like yesterday on the sidelines of the game. If you had no idea, just you taking a stab in the dark, what's AJ Hawk going to be wearing on the sidelines? Black long sleeve shirt is, a really safe bet. For whatever reason, he doesn't like showing off his hairless arms that he shaves. But he's always going to be in black.
Hey, and his legs too. I saw that because he had his pants on, and when he was standing up to look at my cards and sitting back down, his pants kind of rode up a little bit in the calves. I saw some good definition at the bottom of the calf.
Fantastic.
I'm like, that's a shaved leg right there. I used to shave my leg. Look at how good those calves look.
Trimmed, yeah. Use hair clippers. Boom. Take it everything.
Yeah, of course you're not.
But he's like Christina's husband in The Other Guys.
Sure.
Shaved.
I've seen it. This is fun.
Guy has beard.
Aim for the bushes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, hey.
Will Ferrell.
Yep, Will Ferrell.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, we're doing gun tests?
Bingo.
Despot.
Despot.
When's the last time?
Despot.
When's the last time you did a Despot? Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
September 08.
Yeah, you're right. That is who AJ. Anyways, AJ, your question for old Aaron Rodgers, pal.
Aaron, I wonder if has the Jets PR reached out to you at all? We saw Kirk Cousins kind of lead the skull chant shirtless, wearing a chain. His son was there. Have you given any thought to possibly doing that? We know that your physique was obviously one of the things you worked out really hard going into this season. I'm sure you still are jacked. Like, would you do this? What Kirk did?
Well, we don't have a whole pregame chant.
Oh! Wait! Watch your mouth! That guy used to run towards
we don't have the
fires.
clapping, the
Wow.
shit.
Tell him, Aaron.
We have three, specific people, Fireman Ed and two other guys who do they get their
You
things
should.
going. They get the JETS. But I think they're pretty territorial about that stuff. That's their shit. So we don't.
You do it with shirtless
We don't
with a
have that.
fireman's hat on?
So you walk over there in some tidy whities, fireman head, Ed, maybe jersey,
Yeah.
firefighter helmet on. You'll be welcomed.
I think that there's rumors of increased ticket prices for the Jets this year. Maybe to offset some of that, wouldn't it be a great idea to have, because of the firefighter connection to New York, a calendar, New York Jets fireman style calendar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would sell pretty good. So we'll get 12-ish, maybe more guys to do this calendar that we can put out.
Make the PR guy do it to it. What's his name? Jared? Make him do it too. Make the-
Jared, Jared or Eric. I think Eric Gelfand, he would maybe put him on the cover. Yeah, get some coaches involved in it. We can get Ron Middleton. Ron Middleton to do it. He'd be fantastic.
Brant
Sala
Boyer.
for sure would want to do it. Sala would want to do it.
Hackett.
Brant Boyer, special teams guy, Hackett, maybe. Yeah,
sure.
they would
Put
definitely.
Hackett on the cover.
And in
Boyer.
and in December is Woody.
Yeah.
December is Woody.
Chain on only with the
Yep.
with the firefighter pants on,
No shirt.
shirtless. Yeah. Woody
Maybe a Jet Speedo.
Yeah.
on his head or on his. You're talking about underneath the thing.
Speedo, yeah.
From what I've seen with that chain, probably gonna need a triple XL Speedo on that Woody Johnson.
At least.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Quadruple,
hang the
maybe.
chain from it.
You know what I'm talking? You know,
Someone say great idea.
Knee-high socks, too.
especially if they're gonna raise. Well, then you got to worry about the top of that thing getting hit.
Well, you
Yeah,
got to tuck.
exactly.
You got to
The
tuck
top
and
of the
roll.
socks.
Yep,
Yeah,
right.
tuck and roll.
Yeah, you never know if the inside. It's like Roy Hibbert. Roy Hibbert said one time that he put icy hot on his knees. He's never going to do that again because obviously what happened.
Yeah.
I'm like, Roy, that's not normal.
Yeah, that's just you, Roy.
Roy said, hey, just a little tip. Don't ever do this because it's going to happen. I'm like, Roy, you and about 4 other people on earth having that problem right now.
I think Greg Oden did respond, like, yeah, don't do it.
And then Woody Johnson was like, boys, I've been waiting. That's kind of what I've been
Join the club.
All right, we're running on 2 hours of sleep. Darius has a question for you about football, and this is a big topic. Big topic of conversation.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier with obviously what happened at the end of that Cowboys-Lions game. Have you had any experience with that? Obviously with, somebody reporting and somebody getting confused. And where do you think the blame should fall there? Is it on the ref? Is it on Detroit because they were trying to get a little too cute with it? What do you think about that?
I was part of the Hail Mary, DB.
Mm-hmm.
When the NFL got too cheap to pay their referees what they're due, and hired a bunch of people that didn't deserve to be on a high school field. They couldn't even ref my JC games.
First down.
Respect to NorCal junior colleges, because that's a high level of football. We wouldn't want those referees reffing our games. But
Not as good as Indy and Kansas, but
back in 2002, I don't know what it is now, but 2002, the California, especially Northern California, had the best football in the junior college ranks. But listen, there's been a lot of talk about the play, and I think everybody wants a little bit of accountability for sure. Now, I don't understand. I get it. I don't understand why 3 guys went to the referee. I saw Sewell went, Decker went, and 70 went, right? And I don't know if that was the whole, you can see here Sewell and Decker, right? And then 70's running on. Now, I don't know what Brad was thinking here. It seemed like he left before what could be said. But I'm going to focus listen, a lot of these times there's certain plays that would negate this whole thing, right? So 2nd and 14, they throw the ball. Incompletion, right? So there's talk about the 40 seconds could have been lost. But I didn't want to focus on that. I want to focus on 1st and 10 after the interception. I believe there's a 5 or 6 yard carry by Pollard, and they call it tripping when it was Hutchinson who reached his foot out to try and trip the back. They called the tripping on Dallas. Have you guys seen this?
Yep.
Yeah, I think I saw the clip. I didn't know the full context, though.
So, first of all, I don't think it should have been a trip because he didn't get him down. Now, there are trips that happen and have happened. I mean, TJ Watt got a sack on me a few years ago when he totally tripped me and didn't call, right?
No, cheater. That was a tackle with his leg.
Yeah, exactly. But trips happen, I think, a lot more than you think. And that was an attempted trip, but because they threw the flag, it should have been on Hutchinson. That half a distance to the goal, that's a first down. There's 40 more seconds or a timeout. I don't think the situation would have even been close had they just made this correct call. So this is, on the 29-yard line. Pollard runs, so he gets 6 to maybe 7 to the 22.
I did
We're
see
going to
a
add
flag.
15 to that. So now it's first and 10 on the 11, right? They call this penalty on the on 89 there.
Blatant.
I don't understand how they do that. It's a total whiff of a call, just total miss. But also, Aiden didn't actually get it.
Touch.
So what would have been better in the situation for Dallas is 2nd 2.5, right? Mm-hmm. Because then you have a chance to an extra down for a first down. We're not starting back on a first down, right? Where then you have 3 downs. Now you have 2nd down. You can get another first down. Now you basically get an extra down, extra 40 seconds, or make them call a timeout. Shouldn't have been in this situation. I think, the response from referees, like they're going to protect their own. John Perry's protecting, obviously, his own. I will say I did see what MCDC said. That does happen all the time. Coaches will go to the referee before the game, say, here's the plays we may be running. Just be alert. This is the formation we're going to do. This is the guy that we want eligible. I think there was talk that he may have even drawn it up for them. That 100% happens all the time. They always go to them and talk about what trick plays they're going to run. I think as players, we know who the best refs are. And like I say this guy's name a lot, but he was the best. Gene Steratore was the best.
Gotta be Paisano.
And I think there was too many times over the years where it wasn't a true meritocracy for the playoffs, because you'd be in these games in the playoffs, and it should be, you got 4 wild card games, right, the first weekend, and then 4 divisional games, and then 2, right? So do you really need to have 10, counting at Super Bowl, 11 of the 16 or 17 crews, I guess it's 17, I think it's 17 crews, be represented? No, you don't. You don't. You just have the same, maybe the top 4, or maybe you go to 6 at the most. But it should be the top of the top. And Gene, and what I'm saying is that Gene and his crew should have been reffing every single round. I don't see why that doesn't make any sense. You're giving important playoff games to, in this example, let's say the first 4 games of the wild card weekend, right? You're going to give, the what rated crew, you're going to give the 7th, or what would be the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th rated crews those games. Those are important games. And then you're going to have the divisional round, and you're going to give it to the 4, 5, 6, and 7th rated crews. Why, if that's the case, why not have 1, 2, and 3 and 4 work the first weekend?
It's because everybody's
or
soft.
Maybe 3, 4, 5, and 6.
It's because everybody's soft, Aaron. That's why. Everybody's soft. Because you get a game. You get a game. You get a game.
Come on.
You worked hard this year. You get a game. Oh, I'm sorry. Heartbreak. You don't get to do it in the playoffs. You get a game. That's why. That is the reason why.
And I'm saying it's wrong. It should be a meritocracy. It should be the best crews. And if that's the same 4 or 5 crews, so be it. Look at the NBA. It's the same couple crews once you get into the final rounds of the playoffs, right? Because it should be. I don't know if it is, but it should be the top rated guys. It should be the same in the NFL. And because we know who the best crews are. And actually, part of the problem over the years has been, then in the Super Bowl, you create this super crew that actually doesn't work together. There's a reason that crews work well together, is because communication, usually coming from the white cap and the umpire, who, unless there's a veteran guy on the field, and there are some great veteran line judge, back judge, side judge, but you know who the best referees are. And when you get into a game, you're like, oh, we have this guy as the line judge, you can talk to him. You have this guy as the umpire, okay, he's a little sensitive maybe. This guy's a white cap, you just know who the people are, but you also know who the best ones are. And I've said this many times too, there was, in the last 5-6 years, there's been a ton of the white caps who've retired, who were at the top of their game. A lot of them, including John Perry, go into TV because they make a lot of money. They're not the ones working for the league. And it's a problem. It's a problem with the officiating. But again, it should be meritocracy. The best guys should get the best games.
I think they're going to fix it. I do believe. All the right questions are being asked to the right people from what I've been being told.
Nice.
So I think the NFL understands it's an issue. The meritocracy thing, that just feels like a mindset of being soft and thank you for your service this year and this is what you've earned and everything like that, as opposed to we only have a certain amount of games and you got to earn your way into it, which is... Meritocracy happens in professional sports. It's one of the only places it continues to take place. Everywhere else, you got to know somebody. Potential nepotism takes place. Networking takes place. You're able to have a gig. It's like professional sports is one of the last real meritocracies. Why not do it with the refs? Come on, especially in the biggest league. I think that's a good call. They have said that Brad Allen will not be reffing in the playoffs, allegedly on the internet. We have not heard that from Goodell. And we also heard that Brad Allen was not a part of the pregame meeting with MCDC when he was drawing up the plays. Somebody else was. They didn't relay the proper message to Brad, I guess. And now you got a whole new kerfuffle to break down in this entire story. Yeah, a lot of finger pointing. No, but it's not just this though, because remember, when you point one finger, there's 3 fingers pointing right back at yourself. Remember that, asshole, Rich Rodriguez. Okay, so. You got to do this one whenever you're blaming. You got to make sure. And I did that too, Rich Rod. As soon as he said that, I said, well, and then it was out there then. Obviously, why are you such an asshole in this thing? But it is real. You got to take a little accountability on yourself. But we're in a world where a lot of people, the more layers you have, the more different people you can blame. It happens in everything almost.
It's a $1 billion business, and there's multi millions of dollars bet on this every single week. And there's franchises and fan bases and players' careers and coaches' careers that depend on these games. And you're talking about, and you're taking taking a home playoff game away from a city, that's a 8-figure probably economic boom to that city.
It needs it.
Think about it from that standpoint. What happened to us in 12? We had a home game taken away from us by a freaking terrible call, and the NFL didn't want to actually give the refs what they deserve. And it took that game, if you guys remember, the next week, what happened?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Guess who was back?
So good.
The regular refs were back. So, again, that call, the way it was handled, was messed up. However, it was also should never have been a tripping call on Dallas. So what are we talking about here?
Yeah, I do.
It isn't just cut and dry like the NFL. The refs screwed the Lions. Now there was another game in Dallas a while back in the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
That it had a controversial call. I think Foxy can probably speak to this one as well.
Oh yeah. Fourth quarter, Stafford to Pettigrew, pass interference, refs call it, and then they go, wait, no, wave it off. Detroit loses a playoff game.
Oh, that's because it was Detroit. They didn't want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
boo-hoo,
of
Detroit.
course.
They want the stars.
That's
move
why
on.
they picked it up and they said, "Are we really?"
Can't do that.
In Jerry World again.
Can't do that.
Does it not seem like there's a lot of more outspoken conspiracy NFL is rigged conspiracy theorists showing up?
Hey, last year, Aaron,
so
I know
much,
you were in the middle of it last year and playing and everything, and there was a lot going on. Last year, if you live on the internet, you got to be able to follow a lot of different parts of the internet.
Yeah.
You know? And shout out to the whole internet. I appreciate the love. Lucky to be a part of it. The whole internet had a good time the other day. But like the NFL is scripted thing was starting to cook in every part of the internet. Okay, every person or group that we follow from every different group of the internet, they were all starting to really start. The NFL is screwing us, especially with gambling happening. And then it grew to a fever pitch about week 14.
Yeah.
Week 15 last year got real loud. So much so that the NFL was like, in the face of controversy, you lean into it. They make the commercial this year about the NFL script and everything. But then as things continue to happen, like this and other stuff that happens in football, it's like somebody's writing this thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's to screw me over every single time. That is literally the people that are talking about it. And it happens to be this person is Detroit more often than not.
Yeah.
You don't deserve it, Foxy.
It's terrible.
You don't deserve it, Foxy. You don't deserve it.
I will say, Pat and fellas, that if the Super Bowl is Baltimore and San Fran, and I tell you what, that Super Bowl 59 emblem better have jet green on it, because I know you've seen that one, Connor. That's a real interesting.
Yeah. Well, let's not get into that today.
What are we talking about?
What happened?
What's the Jet 59? What you just tied the Ravens and the Niners
Don't worry.
into Super Bowl 59 into something.
Well, not
Well,
like the
just look at
logos,
the
we've had
colors.
team colors that have been in.
Look at the colors.
Super Bowl.
The Ravens and the Niners. It's purple. It's red.
Bring it up, Foxy or somebody back
Seats
there.
on it.
Bring up Super Bowl 58,
You'll see it.
the emblem, put it on the screen, and then bring up 57 and 56.
This has something to do with the Epstein list that came out.
Feels like.
That's supposed to be coming out soon.
Look at this guy. He's been
There's
waiting
a
in
lot
his
of
wine
people-
cellar.
Yeah.
I've been waiting in my wine cellar for this
He's
thing.
hiding.
A lot of people, including Jimmy Kimmel, are really hoping that doesn't.
All right. Obviously, a clip from this particular program was run on Jimmy Kimmel's show whenever Aaron brought up the list, and then Jimmy mocked him for it. Aaron has not forgotten about that, but here we are sitting right in front of that nice bottle of scotch. What do you say? I'm waiting to celebrate something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Something
He's
awesome.
been waiting
That's
for
the
that.
one.
You've been waiting for
Hey, I'll tell you what. If that list comes out, I definitely will be popping some sort of bottle.
Hey, you've been calling for it for a few years now. Anyone else notice this? Oh.
My God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They've known. They've known for years.
Like I'm saying, that 59 better be jet green. That's all I'm saying.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, unless it's Colts blue. Remember, we got Anthony Richardson coming.
Could be.
Yeah.
Patriots blue might be there too.
I don't know. You've been jumping on the Minshew train. I feel like.
I love him. I do. I love. He shakes his shoulders.
Team loves them.
He'll throw a pick. Who cares? He'll just go right into that. He is awesome. This guy is phenomenal. Legitimate. What they did to the Raiders this weekend, I did not expect to happen. But with Minshew Mania running wild and Shane Steichen's big-ass brain, I mean, why not? Zaire Franklin's leading the NFL in tackles.
What? Dog.
I mean, we got a team. But with that being said, we drafted the future, number 4 overall. Gardner wins the Super Bowl this year. Trade. Go ahead.
I feel like Tay didn't get enough targets this weekend.
He didn't.
I appreciate you saying that.
21. You need a few more.
I didn't see much of the game because it wasn't on any of the TVs that we're at. Also, couldn't see the first half of Dolphins-Ravens, biggest game
Yeah, couldn't
of
change
the weekend.
Can't change channel.
And we can't change the channel once the games have been set. We were told at said sports bar, but they literally just changed the Colts Raiders game off the TV that was right in front of me, which is why we sat there and they moved it to another place. So they could change it, then they didn't change it. Then our guy Sean, shout out to Sean, had nose ring, great hair. Sean went to the back. He did some maneuvering for us, so we saw the second half of Dolphins-Ravens, even though he broke code there at said sports bar that we were at.
Yeah, and he also told us that the manager is a big dumb dipshit, and that's not on him. It was on the manager.
We don't know if he said that or not. I assume they're going to hear everything that we say here. Sean was like a promotion, not a fire.
Too late.
I mean, Sean did great
Sorry,
work
Sean.
there. But anyways,
Question, AJ. Speaking of that game, what do you think when you're down by 30 with 4 minutes left in the game and the starting defense is still out there and your stud tears his ACL?
Yeah, that was not. I was watching that live and I saw it. I knew instantly it could not be good for Chubb. But I don't know when do you sub everybody out? Like that's the thing. Everybody doesn't really have. There's not as many backups as people think too. Like you can't just wholeheartedly take everybody out, but you can. I would definitely pick and choose and take some dudes out at that time.
I mean, I think you take out him, you take out Ramsey for sure. You're down by 30.
What if they wanted to though? What if they said no? Guys will fight and say no. I don't care. I want to stay and stick it out with the boys. Like they could have done that as well.
McDaniel pulls down his joggers and he says no.
Listen, it's different on the other side. Like if Myles Garrett stays in the game up 17 because he wants to get a couple sacks, he knows he's going to be throwing it. That's a different battle you're going to fight. Still, probably shouldn't be in the game. The game's over. It's a under a minute drive, but down 30 when you know you're just going to run the ball. I don't know.
What about Lamar? Lamar was still out there when they were up a bunch. And that was like our first thought because it ended up being on TV. We couldn't hear it, obviously. But we see the score, and then we see Lamar on the field, and it's like, what are we doing? And then I think to myself, well, everybody's killing his stats this year. Everybody's like, his stats aren't good because he has rested in the fourth quarter early in the year as well because they've dominated people. And then he ends up healthy, of course, because he's Lamar Jackson. And he goes, what, 350? 351 or something like that?
18 to 21.
5
tuds.
I'll tell you what stat was good. That was 3 incompletions and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Anytime you're throwing more tuds than you have incompletions, pretty good day at the office, don't you say, Aaron?
Hey, I don't know if you saw it, but I saw this. He had a perfect rating, and then Huntley came in and threw a touchdown, and he had a perfect rating as well. So I think he might only throw one pass or a couple passes, but they both had perfect ratings. So
Baltimore has been on a miraculous run here. Niners in Niners, then Dolphins come to town, and they just neutered both of them.
Yeah.
Just absolutely neutered both of them. Tone actually has a question for you.
Yeah, Aaron, about the Ravens and the Niners, since they both just locked up the 1 seed, and if they sit guys this weekend, they'll have 2 weeks off. How do you feel about that? Like, as a quarterback, do you like having that much time off? Would you like to play in Week 18? What are your thoughts on that?
I think sit him. I think it's one of those ridiculous media talking points where it's a win-win. If you play them and a guy gets hurt, you're an idiot. You should have never played these guys. And then the other win is, if they start a little bit slow, if they're rusty in the divisional round, you should have played them in Week 18. It's ridiculous. The fact is, you've gotten this far with these studs. Take care of them, sit them down. They don't need to play if you're not playing for anything. If anything, you want to get them a little bit of work so it's not 2 whole weeks without playing. Play the first half. We did that a couple of years ago in Detroit. We played the first half, but there's not a lot that can come from playing. I don't believe in the whole rust thing. You're going to be hosting a playoff game in your stadium, rested against a team that's won a playoff game already because it'll be some of the highest seed remaining. Or lowest, when I look at basically the team with the worst seeding left in the playoffs is going to come visit you. and it's a game you're going to be favored to win at your place. So I don't believe in the whole rust thing. You got to save your players from themselves sometimes, and I don't think there's a whole lot to be gained by playing those guys.
My rookie year, we were undefeated until we chose to lose. We started resting like Peyton and Jeff and everybody that was good at football seemingly, and then we rolled Curtis Painter out there behind like every swing offensive lineman we had, and I think a couple of backup tight ends were playing tackle, and we were going to lose the final 2 games to the Jets and to the Bills. But I think the boys were pissed afterwards because they could have had an undefeated season. That was kind of the thought. The rest was nice, but also potentially doing something historic was a decision that wasn't kind of weighed, I don't think, with all the players. I assume Peyton had some say.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. I wasn't a part of those conversations. I was just a rookie. But, like, there is different situations, I think, that change that, right? Don't you think? Like, if you're going for history, I remember, like, Robert Mathis, a lot of the boys were like, Freeney, I think, we can – 72 Dolphins, the only ones that done that. But if any of those guys were to get hurt, we didn't have a very deep team. We would have been shit out of luck going into the playoffs, and the entire season would have been ruined. So it's a fine balance there at the end. I'm happy I don't have to make that decision.
I think, yeah, it's that for sure. Like, I would want to play if we're undefeated. Definitely want to play, no doubt.
Got it.
The other reason to play is if there's an all-time record to be broken with your organization. So we had a situation like that in Detroit. I think Devontae needed 15 yards or something, and I wanted to be the one throwing to him. You know, if Tay's going to go out there and play, I want to play. So we were already scheduled to play at least a half that day, so it wasn't even a question. But that'd be another reason to play. I mean, you're talking about the history of a franchise that goes back to the beginning of football itself, and being able to be a part of history would be pretty special.
Yeah.
So again, that situation, we were already going to play. But if we weren't scheduled to play, and Tay's like, I want to play to break this record, I would have said, well, I'm going to play with you.
It was cool to watch that type of situation for Tay. I assume you guys lined him up at running back, had him play a little wheel, because we had Reggie Wayne and Dallas Clark playing running back against the Buffalo Bills because a couple guys needed like 2 catches. Somebody needed like 5 yards receiving for like another 1,000-yard year, 100 catches year. They were literally drawing up plays in the snow seemingly. And by the way, we just walked right down the field. I mean, it was just like right down the field, score. All right, now who do we need? Dallas needs to get a couple. All right, got him at running back, tailback, got him slotted out. He's going in there. You need how many catches? 4. We right down the field again, and then boom, sideline the rest of the time in the middle of a blizzard. And it was fantastic. Well, I'm like, these dudes are just playing games with these people out here. But congrats, there's incentives on the line, money on the line, history on the line. Those conversations are all going to come to the forefront later this week. I think we're gathering all the incentives that can be earned this last weekend because that's a big deal on who's going to be motivated a little bit more. Yeah. Speaking of motivation, Mr.
Playtime incentives too, right?
Yeah.
Playtime incentives would be interesting, and catches and yards and all those things.
Yeah, you need to play 75% of the snaps. Then when you get to 73% of the snaps, they start forecasting, like, we're going to arrest you. Like, whoa, it doesn't sound like you're...
That's happening too.
That doesn't sound like it's health reasons. It sounds like you're trying to screw me a little bit. No. We're looking out for you.
Okay.
I need about 15 more snaps. I'm doing the math here.
Multi-billion-dollar business, and sometimes they're playing games with a little $50,000 bonuses, $75,000 bonuses. You know,
it's the best. It's the highest level, man. Remember, it's the highest level, Aaron. That's there's no greater league than the NFL. Ty has a question for you though about Mr. Unlimited.
Yeah, Aaron, just curious if you've paid any attention to kind of the shitstorm that's going on in Denver right now. We heard Russ came out and talk and basically said, like, hey, yeah, the Broncos did approach me about restructuring my contract or waiving my injury guarantee or whatever the case may be. Do you think all the stuff that's happened, like, was that laid out by Sean Payton to him when he first got there? Like, hey, I don't really want you to be my guy going forward. We'll try to make it work. If it doesn't work, I'm going to get rid of you. And also, like, now a lot of people are saying, like, hey, this is dirty pool. This is, negotiating in bad faith or just, and it's going to really affect guys wanting to come play for the Broncos moving forward. Like, what's your take on that whole situation, and do you think that's true?
Do I think what part is true?
Like, does that how much does that affect guys wanting to go play for Denver moving forward?
That's a great question. I think people that are just money motivated, and there's always in free agency, there's the guys that just want to get paid, and there's the guys that want to get paid and be on a good team. So guys that want to just get paid, it won't make a difference. I think that's just the way the NFL is. Guys who care about character and chemistry and look, the NFL is it's a great profession. It's a tough business. And this type of stuff is probably more commonplace than you would think. Obviously, we're talking about a premier player here in some bizarre circumstances. I think anybody can probably look at the situation objectively and say that Russ probably wasn't Sean's first choice. It definitely paints the last however many weeks in a way different light, though, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
From play calling, from interactions they had on the sidelines. Listen, there's an old adage, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And Russ and I have had some battles over the years. And Seattle and Green Bay, were two of the premier teams in the 2010s, especially. And we had some battles over the years. And there was a great rivalry, and we couldn't seem to beat them other than in the Phil Mary game in Seattle. They couldn't beat us in Green Bay. But I think we have, more of a common enemy based on some comments that have been said about, a dear friend of mine, and then seeing this come out. So my heart actually goes out to Russ for dealing with this. I think, say whatever you want about him. Like, I think he's handled this pretty well. I definitely applaud him for speaking on it, because it's a tough situation, and he basically said what he said what went down, which is pretty scandalous that they would do that.
Sketch.
Now, obviously, there's the team would probably say, "Oh, we're just trying to get him to move the date on the injury clause or whatever." It's still crazy to threaten, "We're going to sit you if you don't do this."
Franchise quarterback. Franchise quarterback.
If that actually happened, and it's not like he's having a shit year. He definitely is playing better than he did last year and taking care of the football. And then they went on a run too. I mean, they lost 3 or 4, but they won 5 or 6 in a row, I think.
Yeah, 5.
So, and in the midst of this, him knowing that they just wanted to bench him and get rid of him. So kudos to Russ for dealing with the shit situation. And, that's about all I'm going to say about everybody else in Denver.
And that's all I got to say about that. Way to go, Russ.
Hell yeah.
I do like that the common hatred of a man can potentially bring you two together even more.
It's glorious.
You know what I mean? That is a glorious thing. It's been happening since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
A lot of wars actually have had alignment because of said thing.
Absolutely.
Well, we hate each other originally, but we don't hate each other as much as we hate that person. So we are going to now. We thought. Hate can really bring a lot of love, can it? And maybe you and Russ will be able to share a little moment or two here because the situation's brewing with Sean Payton. At his age, everything he's accomplished, and he's handling it right. You said whenever he addressed it, he had a Broncos hat on, was standing in front of his Broncos locker. Yeah, so they just basically told me they wanted to steal $37 million from me.
That's all.
That's pretty much why. That was a surreal scene there almost,
You could tell he was emotional about it. It affected him. Which of course it would. Hey, great win against Kansas City, but we're gonna bench your ass unless you move the shit around.
Because your knee, we don't need it,
Can't have it.
We need everything to stay. And we want you to play,
Bad.
but we don't want you to get hurt right
For
now.
free, though.
Yeah, no.
It was just the front office, though, right? It wasn't.
Sean Payton. Wasn't Sean Payton.
Yeah.
So maybe there isn't an enemy that you guys share.
No, we know Sean Payton's got control. He's calling the shot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's why he signed there.
Yep.
Yeah, the alignment.
And if Sean Payton wins next year or the year after, now they're going to have to eat a massive dead cap next year. So if they're able to win, there will be some real salary cap gymnastics that they'll have to do. But if they win 2-3 years down the road, nobody will remember.
No.
Nobody will remember.
Good.
But the man who founded the Danger Witch is going to remember this.
Yeah, he is.
yeah.
Forever.
And I can't wait to see his comeback trail, his revenge tour next year. As we end here on ESPN in our first show of the year of 2024, we can't thank you all enough for allowing us to do this for a living. Who knows if 1 year from now we're still able to do this?
Sure.
I hope.
If we're still able to create a terrible crop ass show.
For sure.
We're going to try every single day from now until then to keep doing it. Have a great one. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Goodbye. Nailed it. Aaron, professional send-off.
1 for 1 on the year.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask for.
2 for 2, actually, first hour.
True.
Yeah.
Go. Go. Good start.
pretty exhausted too. Pretty exhausted. Yesterday was a long one, Aaron. Yesterday was a long day.
Yeah, I give you guys credit, man. I will say, once that first game was over, I went to the main broadcast feed.
Oh, you missed out. You missed out, brother. Great moments.
It was Jover.
Yeah, Joe over for those guys.
Aaron Rover.
Jover for Deuce.
I doubt it.
I think they did great. We didn't see any of it. I mean, we're on a plane.
Well, we saw one part. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah, we did. We appreciate Cole Kubelik, Harry Douglas, that boy Bad, obviously, Colt McCoy, Sacho. Way to go out there, boys. Appreciate you guys.
boys.
I didn't get to see any of it. Aaron didn't see any of it. I mean, so we're not 100% sure, but I'm sure they had a blast. It's crazy just standing down there. Can't see shit, really. Have no idea if it's a 6-yard gain or a 30, honestly.
That's
if they're
awesome,
running
though.
in a straight line, you have no idea at that. That field was beautiful, though. AJ, wasn't that was beautiful? That kid's leg. Do we know what happened to Burton? Was it Burton's leg?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Burton.
it was. We do not.
Have we got an update?
I have not.
Because if that's not a real serious injury, then the grass conversation could have a real one. You know what I mean?
Can we talk about one thing that really chaps my ass about the game, football in general?
Yeah, let's get your ass unchopped.
Listen, when you're playing on turf, you can wear all the plastic molded cleats you want. But when you're playing on grass, wear screw-ins. The quarterback for Alabama, right? His name is Milroe, right?
Yep.
Got a bright future. I mean, I watched a decent amount of Alabama games this year, and watching him mature as a passer and trust his legs, he's dynamic. I mean, I think he's going to be. He reminds me of Lamar, and that's with all due respect to Lamar, because Lamar's about to be a 2-time MVP. Like that. His game. I think he's going to be really, really good. But wear 7 studs, screw-ins when you're playing on grass. There were multiple times where he slipped, and he's wearing plastic cleats on grass. And the grass already, if you watched it, it looked like it was newer sod, right? So it was, I don't know if it was slick or just like a lot was coming up, but multiple people in that game were wearing the wrong cleats. Our guys, I can't even believe it. We're wearing the wrong cleats. We're playing in Cleveland on grass, and they're wearing plastics. Put some goddamn 7 studs on. Wear the friggin' screw-ins, because that's what you wear on grass. I mean, I can't believe I got to say this. What are we even talking about here?
Nice
It's
reminder.
so easy. It's easy.
And
everybody was bitching about the Super Bowl last year, right? Same thing. People were bitching about the Super Bowl last year, and they were wearing moldeds.
The Sodfather got kind of cucked in that entire thing.
Yeah, screwed.
Sodfather didn't get an opportunity to really put his hands on the grass for his last Super Bowl. And with the Rose Bowl, I don't know what the grass normally is. They say it's the greatest grass of all time. It looks that way.
Tastes delicious.
The rain. What's that?
It tastes
grass
delicious.
legit tastes like a caprese salad. We were eating
Like-
it. We were
like
eating it all day.
Garfield.
Just gnawing on it.
AJ has
Swallowing
mixed it with his gum.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
pretty
you have
good.
to-
Like our field supervisor in Green Bay, Alan, used to say, that grass looks supple.
Oh,
Yeah.
Very supple.
It was.
Well, it sounds like it was more supple than I could have even imagined while I was looking at that delightfully
Delicious.
plump and delicious looking grass. But like it rained heavily and they had it covered, but not on the side. The side wasn't covered. So I do wonder with rain in Southern California at the level in which it was coming down within the 24 hours of the game, I wonder what the whole process was. Because if you remember at the Super Bowl, the Sodfather came out, who's 98 years old, has done every Super Bowl since the football has started. There he is.
Boom.
And he said, this sod kid who's taking my spot, cucking me, he doesn't know. He can't be watering and then covering it for 3 days. You're basically baking a puddle in there.
Come on.
You're making a soup. He made a soup. He said, that's why I'm the father. He's the fucking kid. But nobody let me do anything. I'm just the old bastard who doesn't know anything. Pretty much what the sod father said.
Yes.
As they kicked him out the door and forced him out of his way.
Mm-hmm.
So I do appreciate the fact that you're like, let's put a little bit more onus on maybe
Please.
what we've been decisions that have been made in every sport that plays on grass since kids. Hey, what are we wearing? The long ones today or the short ones today? Molded or studs? And you even said that, AJ, yesterday as we were watching, because there was a run up the middle Jalen had where he wanted to stop and just, that was a third down.
Yes.
It was a big third down, actually.
It was early in the game. It was a big third down early in the game.
Yeah.
But I will say, I'm really glad that because of the World Cup coming, that we're finally going to get grass in so many of these stadiums.
Shout out to those soccer boys.
Thank you, football.
Thank you, lads.
Thank you, football, for taking care of the boys. J.J. Watt has said, though, a couple times, and he's in the soccer world, now his team sucks. Have they won? Have they won?
No, they had a hard.
Yeah, everyone else
weekend.
around them is winning too, and the pitch at Turf Moor has never been the nicest of grass.
Okay, so they're just getting worse somehow. It's going to be better for the story, though. You know what I mean? Buy the hump.
Yep.
Don't buy the dip.
No, non-soccer.
No, yeah. Buy at the top. You know?
It's different.
Yeah. So then you can enjoy the ride down because that's the best part of the roller coaster. Ah! And then, inevitably it's going
Yep.
and try to get back to even there. And that's kind of what's happened with JJ. He said he's not going off the ship, but his wife's soccer player, obviously. He's been around the soccer world. He said some of those soccer fields that they're putting on top of those turf fields for grass, he said those are crop too. Like, you don't want, he said he's thinking that some of those World Cup grasses are going to be crop. Like, it's not good because it's just put on top of cement or on top of turf. It's an issue in not having it grounded, I think.
Yeah.
Like having it actually, being a full ground.
Living grass, yeah.
One with the earth.
Yeah, living, I guess.
Like J.J. McCarthy was doing.
Yeah, did you see his ass? Did you see him? He was doing a full thing. Did you see that?
It worked.
He was a little meditation. I saw that. It was awesome. Yeah.
We said he needs some iron.
Did work.
I feel like, Pat, you're like Snoop Dogg in Starsky and Hutch. You know?
Huggy
You
Bear?
don't know a lot about golf, but you know a hell of a lot about grass.
Amen.
Pretty good.
Speaking of grass, we need to stop smoking the stuff off the streets. Okay? They're putting fentanyl in it.
What?
This is not a joke.
I just learned this.
Come on.
I just learned this. Yeah. So this is a real problem in the modern day and age, I guess, with these kids. Some people are
Who's doing
describing
it? The CIA?
Fucking China.
The CCP.
Luckily, it's
friends.
China, but if it wasn't China and it was us, they would say it was China. So whoever it is, there's also, I saw Tom Cruise flying a plane for the CIA with some stuff down into the Central America area, and he took off on a runway that was certainly too small for that plane
Tom Cruise
to take off. So there's been some drugs and
Barry. Was it Barry?
American made. Great movie.
Tom Cruise,
What's that?
one of the best.
Yeah, the best.
Anyways, they're putting fentanyl in everything, man. Even like weed in edibles.
Why?
Trying to kill people. I think that's what I was told by a doctor.
Why would a dealer want to kill their clients though?
It's not the dealer.
CCP try to kill Americans.
It's like an attack.
Oh,
They're saying
man.
it's like an attack on like an entire generation. They're putting this fentanyl in
It could
everything.
just be the alphabet gangsters in this country. You know what I mean?
You've said that a couple times. You feel cool when you say that? You got to.
It's truth. I mean, do we need to go through the criminal history of each organization? We can. I can do it real quick.
Come on, man.
Actually, let me open my drawer here.
Yeah.
I got a report from 2 years ago I did while I had my COVID. Nobody was letting me. Listen to the CIA. You want to hear this? Today should be a big day for you guys. Can't wait to hear what we're chatting about next week. Aaron, have an incredible week. What are we doing? Are we still playing football? Are we doing 7-on-7? Are we practicing? What do we got going on?
Oh, I don't know. We got a few days left. If there's full speed practice, I'll be doing it this week. Trying to pick off some passes on the jog through defense as usual. This is always the last week of the year is always strange when you're out of it. It's only been a few times in my career, thankfully, but the weirdest day is kind of the Tuesday after the exit meetings, where you have exit meetings on Monday and then there's just nobody around. So that's strange. This is last week this group will be together. That's always a little nostalgic. You think about everything you've been through from the off season to training camp to the season ups and downs and frustrations and celebrations and excitement and just the relationships that are formed. Everybody's going to go their own way here in about a week from today. So just try and enjoy time with the fellas and know that it's not going to be the same. This is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime experience for these guys and gals. So a lot of gratitude for it. Also, I think it's important that we learn the lessons, and really communicate entirely before we leave town so we can do things a little bit better next year.
Yeah, there's a lot of hopes and dreams for next year. Everything we thought was going to happen this year with the Jets, we're delaying until next year is the mindset. And I know Greeny was down in his dumps. He was bummed out for a while.
Very bummed out.
But now he's excited for next year.
Think how excited Greeny and Rich Eisen and all the Jet fans in the media are going to be when they see that Super Bowl 59 emblem. Oh. It's got that Jet green on it.
Yeah. and Doe 36 is making the announcement. It'll be good. It'll be a good time.
Foxy, what if it's jet green and a little baby blue?
Here we go, Aaron. Now we're talking.
Carolina.
It might be Eagles Patriots. Then.
No,
Yeah.
Lions, Jets. Let's see it. And then Aaron will tear our hearts out one more time and win the Super Bowl. I already see it coming. We're writing the script right now.
Well,
fan.
let's see. I thought
Good
you had
fan.
Stafford tearing your dreams out this year whenever he comes back to town.
Yeah, I mean, we've all seen it. The Cowboys just ripped our hearts out. It happens all the time. That's what the
That's
Lions
because you
exist
guys are
for.
doing a little song and dance with the reporting of the eligibility.
We're smarter than
Maybe just play
everybody.
thought it was
football.
the refs.
Maybe just line up and play football.
Let's get to a break.
If you were smart, you could have called timeout after they announced it, right? Or no?
Well, headphone. I'm telling you, the announcement.
They didn't have timeouts.
The announcement of like this person's eligible. Sometimes it happens so often. I don't know if everybody's even. You know what I
I
mean?
heard it on the Spanish, the ESPN Deportes. They showed it.
Bingo.
You can hear it.
He walked over.
Also, Ty, you didn't mention at all the big GB win Sunday night.
Oh, it's huge.
You
Ecstatic.
been-
Hey,
you
hey.
been broke a little bit.
No, well, still got more to do. Bears have been playing very well these last couple weeks. So, but hey, everything you want, got one more to get into the dance at home. Jordan Love has played incredible down the stretch here. Absolutely incredible. He's been really fun to watch, especially with guys being hurt. I'm worried about the defense still, Aaron. I think that's kind of just the way it goes. But hey, beat the Bears and you're in the dance. That's all you can ask for.
Definitely the young guys have played really well, and Jordan's been excellent. He made like 4 or 5 pretty incredible throws the other night. So one more game to go. It's the Super Bowl for the Bears just about every year because they haven't in the playoffs.
Hell yeah,
once
Bears
in
Yep, well
who knows how long. So this is their Super Bowl. We've won. What have we won? Matt's never lost to them. I don't think it's like 9 in a row.
Zito?
Yeah, I believe so.
Zito's Matt LaFleur.
That was a
ever lost to you
rhetorical.
guys?
That was a rhetorical
Yeah.
question. It's at least 9 in a row.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. He knew, by the way. He had the stat.
18, we got beat by him there when Joe Philbin was the coach. We beat him earlier, so it's definitely 9 in a row.
Do you think?
Is it a rivalry anymore?
Oh, jeez.
It's a fair question.
you.
It's a fair
Jeez.
question.
If they can't beat us, is it a rivalry?
Yeah, you're like bug windshield type thing. We're going to run into each other, but really, that's what you're saying here in this entire conversation.
I mean, every coach that gets hired in Chicago, his first goal is to beat Green Bay. It's been rough the last 30 plus years, and now, I think there was a lot of people like, all right, Favre's out of here. This young kid ain't getting worth a shit. And then, we had our run, and then, okay, the old guy's out of here. This young kid's ain't gonna be worth a shit. And they're like, oh shit, Jordan Love's pretty damn good.
Yeah, week 1 was ugly.
There's another one. Oh no, they got another one over there in that tiny little town. Because remember, if I go back to learning about this rivalry that you held in such high regard, I think you talked to Justin Fields about him holding it in high regard. Same thing with Jordan Love. You're like, it's the big city taking on little Green Bay. Have played against each other for a long time. That's why whenever you're telling people that you're their fucking landlord and everything because you appreciated a rivalry. That's an old school one. This week, everything's on the line.
That's right.
It's always blood ball, baby.
And you said it's Chicago Super Bowl. It is blood ball. You're right. It is blood ball. They've been playing their best ball.
They have been.
Chicago's coming into Super Bowl hot.
They got a couple people I really love on that team. I mean, besides Getsy, who's a great friend, but Big Dog is there. And he got a touchdown recently.
Yep.
And Lucas Patrick, I love EQ as well. EQ's there. Lucas Patrick, who's playing center for him, awesome guy. But I think it's gonna be a good day for the G&G.
Hell yeah. Hopefully,
Jordan,
Jair Alexander just makes himself captain again. That was awesome. It's a big one. Coach didn't know I want to play in the playoffs too. So
Boys have my back.
guys have my back.
I'm from Charlotte.
He said, "Yeah, dude, call it. You want to?" He won a coin toss.
Yes, he did.
People forget about that.
Yes, he did.
He's back. Big game.
Jordan Love since week.
I mean, the part of him saying to go on defense, that's one of the most overblown parts of the story. Now the other stuff, whatever, but a referee is not going to let a team win the toss and go on defense. It's just
There's some power hungry.
Didn't say it right.
I've been out there when somebody says defense and they will not let them. They go, "Do you mean defer?" And then I multiple times no, he said defense. He said defense. and they won't.
Oh,
They
you
won't let us
crack
get
it.
the ball twice.
Hey, defense, defense.
You heard it.
He
We
said
get the ball
defense.
twice. We get the ball
He said
twice.
defense.
Never worked.
Never worked. It's not possible. It's not possible
Jair.
for a referee to allow you to go on defense.
Jair knew that. He said everybody was laughing. I'm like, what are we laughing about?
Get it?
He's the best. He has sunglasses.
He's incredible. He's one of my favorites. I love Ja.
He's a movie character, that guy.
Yeah.
He is awesome. We need a microphone on him at all times. You know Truman Show? Let's do Jair.
Boom.
I like to see that guy eating dinner. I like to see him waking up in the morning. I like to see the decisions being made on the road when he's driving. I like to hear everything that Jair is thinking. He's
Team had
one
his
of
back.
one. Yeah? What'd you say?
He's one of
Team
one.
had his
He's
back.
101%.
The guys had his back.
Yeah.
They said I deserve to see shit.
Coach knew.
All right, we appreciate you, Aaron. Hopefully you'll be able to crack open that bottle over your left shoulder there for some good news or some good times. We appreciate you in 2023. Excited to see 2024.
Release the Epstein list, and I will be cracking open a bottle of something real nice tonight.
How many does are there, you think? There's at least 36 from what we've heard about.
There's probably about 2,000, but who knows?
Well, Doe 36 is an interesting name. Supposedly.
It's not Jerome Bettis.
No, it's not.
They put that number 36
Not
on
the
it.
bus.
He
Not
doesn't
the
even
bus.
know that's going on.
Yeah, of course not.
Not the bus, Doe 36.
Refs screwed him on that coin toss, though.
Yeah,
They're gonna,
Yeah,
all
right.
the people in trouble are gonna have to turn their comments off, which I hear is already happening. So,
all right.
turn your comments off on X.
You snooping around a little bit?
Yeah, who did that?
Yeah, you snooping around a little
You
bit?
did, AJ.
Look how happy he is. Look at that face. Look how pumped he is. That's just real joy. That's a childlike joy right there.
We've gotten prematurely excited about this list coming out for a while.
Who's we? You and
There's a lot
Conrad.
of people. There's a lot of people that don't want that list out. A lot of people.
Everyone's raining on my parade today saying that it's not going to happen. Just saying.
I mean,
Just
I hope
saying.
it does, Conrad. I hope it does. But there's a lot of people that don't want that to come out. So if anything happens as a distraction, you'll know that list is about to come out.
Okay, real quick. Are you and Conman going to have a reading together tonight? Or are you going to go through it like a book club? You know, hey, Conman, let's start at Doe 1, and let's start snooping around here. Let's start seeing who this.
If that list comes out, Conman, I want you to FaceTime me. We'll have a little celebratory drink together, all right?
Absolutely. I'll be there. Maybe have a couple. I will have to read through it on my own, though, because everyone needs to kind of experience it on their own when we've been waiting for this for so damn long.
I'm going to let you know there's a really
Just like the Podesta emails.
Bingo.
All right.
Just like the other emails that just came out.
Okay. Excited to hear about it. Can't wait for you guys to tell me what I need to know. I'm sure you guys will do it in a fair, biased way.
Absolutely.
I'm sure that'll be a good thing. I'm excited about that. That's what I'm pumped about. And that's
Nothing
what
fair and biased about a name on an Epstein flight log,
Yeah.
Especially when it's heading to a little island in the Caribbean where,
AJ.
Disney sent a bunch of, kids to do snorkeling.
Jesus.
Especially when some people took 50 plus flights to said place.
All right, I'm excited for you guys to break it all down for us. I'm excited for it. If there's any sports people in there, please let us know too.
Well, that's kind of the other fun part is because not all will be named. Anyone in the sports world who you might want fired, you could be like, I heard Doe 138 was, insert name of coach that you don't want, which I almost just did.
Oh, the internet's going to start doing it.
Yeah, that's exactly what.
Oh,
this,
no.
I don't want this.
The internet can't have anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No. For example, like Bailey Zappi, this did not happen.
Do
But-
not. Just don't even. No reason.
But if I did
No
not want
reason.
Bailey Zappi
All
to
right,
be
we
the
get it,
quarterback,
yeah.
okay.
We get what you're saying.
You see where I'm going with that?
Yeah. So you're projecting on it. All right. Hey, hopefully you have a good day soon. You and Conman have a good meeting. Hopefully you get everything out of it that you want. Hopefully some real change happens.
Let's get corruption, especially when you're talking about sex trafficking and pedophilia. Let's get all of it out in the open.
Yep.
And
Hell yeah.
let's take back our country from these fucking terrible monsters, awful politicians, lifetime, incredible stock trading,
What?
fucking villains. You know what I mean?
What?
Get it off your chest, Aaron. I appreciate you.
I wore my hoodie today.
All right, we're going
This
to
country was founded as a constitutional republic, not a democracy. In a constitutional republic, the emphasis is on civil liberties, right? In a democracy, it's on freedom and equality. Actually not freedom, sorry, it's on equality. But democracies always unravel into dictatorships or fascism, which is what you're seeing right now when there's an emphasis on equality and not on civil liberties. So we got to take back our country from these fucking monsters, and so many of them potentially could be, involved in some real heinous stuff. Hopefully, the corruption and this stuff is exposed at some point, because we're at a real important part in our world right now. And
You're scratching Connor right where he itches.
Here,
right now.
here, brother. Here.
Is there like a 6 or 7 hour Rogan episode I can listen to and maybe get to the bottom of this thing? Or
Not even the doctor knows.
No, not even.
Not even the doctor.
All right. I'm gonna get out of here. Hey, Aaron. Hopefully you have a great day. Hopefully we get America back today.
Yeah.
it's already been a great day. I get to talk to you guys, and hopefully we get a list at some point. Probably not, because it's probably just stringing us along a little bit. But
Hold on, hope, Aaron. Just like Jets fans are doing for next year.
That's right.
We appreciate you,
hold
buddy.
on, hope.
Happy New
Hold
Year,
on.
man. Hey, a lot of naysayers out there. Time to prove them all wrong. Ladies,
Yep, Fauci's a criminal. All right, see you guys.
I mean, he also, you never know.
ladies and gentlemen, the COVID MVP,
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers. I do wonder if he has like a little box in the back.
Yeah.
He's like a little reminder.
AJ, you want to comment? Because there's other people on sports networks that say that, you never comment when Aaron starts talking like that.
What do you mean? What do they say? What did they say about me?
Fuck. AJ, they know I'm involved. That's what they say that you're thinking.